Hello, everyone. I welcome you to Our Ventura TV, and we would like to introduce our guest today on the show. She is Gina Dorrington. She is the general manager of the City of Ventura Water, and we would like to thank you so much, Gina, for being with us today.
Oh, sure. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Very good. Can you give us a little overview of Ventura Water and what you and your staff are responsible for, and all that you do to bring us clean, safe, and available water?
Sure. So Ventura Water is the city's water and wastewater utility. So we are part of the city.
Right.
And our job is mainly to provide the health and safety of the community environment with all things water and wastewater. There are 111 of us who provide operations services, utility, mechanical, electrical, and instrumentation services. We have a full functioning lab. We do water conservation management and outreach. We are out there inspecting all of our sewer lines and water lines and protecting our environment by planning into the future with engineering and water resources planning.
Very good. That's a big job.
Good job.
Right. How are we doing as far as conserving water these days? How are all of us doing?
The city of Ventura is doing phenomenal. They have hit milestones that have been way beyond state requirements and expectations. We were asked to conserve about 20% from water usage in 2013, and as we headed into this huge drought period, and we've seen conservation efforts reach about 30%. In fact, even during this wet year, Ventura continued to maintain conservation as a way of life, and that really helps out when we look at water resource planning. We're able to be okay with our limited local supplies because of the conservation efforts in the city.
Good. And I know that we should all kind of just make water conservation a California way of life now. It shouldn't stop. I think we should all, hopefully continue on that good process that we are doing.
Yes.
Okay, terrific. What is Ventura doing to bolster that water supply?
So the city of Ventura is unique in that it's one of the largest cities in California that actually relies on local water supplies. We get our water from Ventura River, Lake Casitas, and the groundwater basins. And while that is unique and sustainable in certain ways, it also has proven to be climatically vulnerable in these past cycles of storm events and droughts. So Ventura Water has been working hard to expand and diversify the water portfolio. And conservation is one of the big legs in that. And as we talked about earlier, the city's really taken that up. So in addition to that, the city had foresight many decades ago to buy into the State Water Project. So the city has approximately 10,000 acre feet a year of allocation for the State Water Project. And we are currently in design to bring that water physically into the city of Ventura. So hopefully in the next couple of years, we'll be able to access that allocation and make up for those low points in our local supply. But bringing in new water supply is our Ventura Water Pure program. And this is Ventura completing the water cycle within a city. We'll be taking our wastewater effluent at our water reclamation facility, and that is treated currently to irrigation standards. And we're going to take it a step further through an advanced treatment process and be able to take that water and put it back into our drinking water supply through our groundwater basins. That's going to bring in 20% new water for the city's water supply.
That's a big growth. That'll help a lot, I'm sure, for the future. And as we talk about the future, I know that infrastructure is important, and maintaining that infrastructure is important. So what is your staff responsible for there, and how are they trained to handle that?
So we have certified professionals within our industry. We have our state certified engineers that take a look at what infrastructure is needed and how long that lifetime and lifespan is. And so we check in operationally just to see how that structure is holding up. We're going through a couple plan upgrades now in response to that. And then those of us who are doing the boots on the ground, day-to-day operations, we're certified through many different organizations, the California Water Environment Association, the American Water Works Association, and the State Water Resources Control Board. So there's many different levels of certification. And because of the classification that we have in the city, we hold the highest classifications. So you could come and work here and gain your highest level certification. Those certifications require continuing education. They require on-the-job training. But it is a great career, and it does help to unify standards across the board and how to maintain our infrastructure.
And will that affect any of our water rates going up in the future with the costs of infrastructure, keeping it, moving and just working well? Does that affect water rates? Will it affect water rates?
Well, yeah, our water rates are established based on what our cost of service is.
Okay.
It's based on your age of your infrastructure, the needs of the infrastructure, the costs. There's material costs, there's chemical costs. All of those go into a cost of service study, and then that is rolled into the rates and what it costs to not only maintain and operate on a day-to-day basis, but to project out into the future what we're going to need in capital costs moving forward, and then holding a little bit of reserve in case of an emergency. So those are all put into the rate structure.
Do you think that, our water will be affected in the future by population growth and so many people coming now to Ventura County, more housing being built? How do we keep up with that so that our water supply will be there?
So that is a big part of what we do at Ventura Water. We have a great water resources team filled with specialists and engineers and conservation, and we look at how the city's demand is and how we're using that water supply. We're looking at what's available in our water supply, and those conservation efforts, those ability to access different water supplies. We do a comprehensive water resources report every year to check in on those water resources and our supply and demand. And we've projected out, several years into the future. And when we do that, we take into account what development's coming online, what our projected growth is. And, with these added projects, Ventura is looking very good in the future.
That's good to hear. Very good to hear. Let's talk about some of the good things that you do offer within the water district. And that is there's a lot of rebates out there and incentives for customers. And I know that some of those will really help people with their water. And if you could maybe touch on some of those briefly, such as the different irrigation information and even rebates for customers buying appliances. All those are available on your website, I believe.
Yes, you could go to VenturaWater.net and take a look at our very robust and diversified portfolio of rebate options in the city. And I think that has a lot to do with the success of conservation in our city. There's rebates on toilets, there's rebates on different appliances. And a rain barrel, you could get a voucher for a rain barrel. Currently, we're excited this year. We received a grant to increase our turf rebate program. So if you decide to remove your lawn and put in a water-friendly landscaping, we are offering $2.50 for every square foot for a replacement of your lawn. We also offer a water recycling program where you could come down and receive and pick up some recycled water from our wastewater reclamation facility and use that to sustain that landscaping through so that you don't have to use additional water to establish it. So we have various programs through that, and then also educational programs. You could come and get a gardening series to teach about water, how to set up your irrigation properly. There's a lot of different options for everyone.
Sounds great. I hope everyone will go to your website. Do you want to mention it one more time?
So VenturaWater.net.
Very good. And these are all very helpful hints for people who want to check out the rebates and incentive programs. And let's hope that our water supply continues to be so good and, good for all of us here in Ventura County.
Well, everybody just keep doing your part, and we'll get by just fine.
Very good. Gina Dorrington, GM for Ventura Water here at the City of Ventura. I want to thank you so much for sharing all the information with us today, and thank all of you for joining us on Our Ventura TV. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, everyone.